case and cues with Carrie. Some cases are difficult to talk about because of the cruelty involved, but they still deserve to be told because behind every headline is a real person whose life mattered. This case comes out of Saginaw Township, Michigan, where investigators uncovered what they described as one of the most disturbing homicides the community had seen in years. It's the story of Teressa Johnson. In September of 2024, police were called to the Roadway Inn and Suites in Saginaw Township after a man reported something deeply concerning inside a motel room. When officers arrived, they discovered the body of 46-year-old Teressa Johnson. Investigators determined that Johnson had suffered multiple traumatic injuries, and her death was ruled a homicide. The investigation quickly led to her boyfriend, Daniel Varnes. According to testimony later given in court, a man who had arranged to sell drugs to Varnes the night before went to the motel room after Varnes allegedly ran off without paying him. When he entered the room, he noticed what appeared to be a human shape lying under the covers on the bed. When he asked about it, Varnes reportedly revealed Johnson's body. The witness left the motel and later contacted authorities. When police arrived, Varnes fled the scene on foot but was located hours later hiding in a wooded area nearby and taken into custody. During the investigation, prosecutors say Varnes admitted that he had repeatedly assaulted Johnson over a period of roughly 2 weeks leading up to her death. Investigators also recovered several tools and objects inside the motel room that tested positive for Johnson's blood. An autopsy later confirmed that Johnson died from multiple traumatic injuries. Court records also revealed that Johnson had significant visual impairment and other vulnerabilities, factors that made the case especially troubling for investigators. The case later stalled in court while doctors evaluated whether Varnes was mentally competent to stand trial. After testing, he was ruled competent to understand the charges and assist in his defense. In March of 2026, just before jury selection was scheduled to begin, Daniel Varnes entered a no-contest plea to second-degree murder-torture and concealing the death of an individual. A no-contest plea is not a formal admission of guilt, but it allows the court to treat the charges as proven. He now faces a sentence expected to exceed 3 decades in prison when he returns to court for sentencing. For many in the Saginaw community, the case of Teressa Johnson remains difficult to comprehend, not only because of the violence involved, but because of how vulnerable she was in the final days of her life. As this case moves towards sentencing, her story serves as a reminder that victims are more than the circumstances of their deaths. They are people whose lives mattered. If you have thoughts about this case or reflections on how justice should be measured in cases like this, share them respectfully in the comments. Conversations like these help keep victims' stories alive and ensure that people like Teressa Johnson are not forgotten.